Hello and welcome to Sports Today. My name is Rohit Mundayor and I'm going to be talking about the Euro 2020 opener between Italy and Turkey. But just before that, let me just touch upon quite a seismic result in the world of tennis yesterday. Rafael Nadal lost in the French Open. But that is not something that you hear quite often. In fact, you've heard that only thrice in since 2005, which was the time when Rafael Nadal actually made his debut in the French Open and actually won the tournament straight away as a 19-year-old. He lost to Novak Djokovic, of course, a historic rival of his, probably one of two other players who can claim to be as successful as Nadal in tennis. Djokovic beat him 3-6, 6-3, 7-6, 6-2 in a match that lasted more than 4 hours. It was such a brilliant match. It was the sort of match that actually forced the prime minister, apparently. Reports say that the prime minister apparently called in and asked for the authorities to allow the crowd to stay beyond the curfew time of 11 p.m. over there. The match was Djokovic actually lost the first 5 games, and it looked like this will be another walkthrough for Nadal. These two players faced each other in the last French Open as well, and over there, Nadal just steamrolled Djokovic completely. There didn't seem to be any sort of a rivalry between the two of them. Djokovic was completely taken to town by Nadal. Not this time though. Djokovic came in ready. He came in firing. The first 5 games may have gone to Nadal, but then after that, Djokovic was completely dominant. Nadal made a lot of errors as well, especially upon serve, which is not something you want to do if you want to beat Novak Djokovic, regardless of what the surface is, of course. Djokovic is the first to beat Nadal in the semifinals of the French Open, and for Nadal, this is the third time he's losing in the French Open in 108 attempts. Now that itself shows the kind of dominance that he had and the kind of shock that Djokovic sort of pulled off here at the French Open. He has won Nadal, of course, has won the last 4 French Open titles on the trot. And Djokovic is the only player right now to beat Nadal twice in the French Open. Djokovic, of course, will now be facing Alexander Zverev Stefanos Tsitsipas of Greece in the final. He beat Alexander Zverev earlier in the day. Right, so moving on from there, we go to the football where finally the Euros got underway. And the first match of the day first match of the tournament was Italy against Turkey. There were quite a few suggestions yesterday during our live preview show, that Turkey might surprise Italy and whatnot, and Turkey might be the underdogs. People were sort of expecting, surprisingly, people were sort of expecting Turkey to do something. Well, those who were expecting Turkey to do something kind of would have probably got disappointed. They simply did not come into the game with that mentality to actually beat the Italians. From the beginning itself, they decided to just sit back and try to hit them on the counter, try to hit the Italians on the counter. That simply did not happen. The Italians were very smart with their pressing. And finally, at the end of the day, Italy won the match 3-0. This is their 9th clean sheet on the trot. This is also their 28th match unbeaten. Italy this time around, they're all young players. There are only a few names that you would say are like straight away that have straight away a recall value. Maybe someone like Lorenzo Insigne, Ciro Immobile, the goalkeeper, of course, the AC Milan goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma. But they don't have that huge star value that they've had historically in tournaments. But this match showed, for those who have not followed the qualifiers, maybe. That, well, they don't really need big star names. This is a properly well-oiled unit. And of course, there were fans in the stadium, a lot of fans in the stadium. In fact, 16,000 fans were allowed in the stadium in Rome. And Roberto Mancini, the manager, said that they also had a big role in Italy winning the match. The first half was completely dominated by Italy. But then it did look like, maybe, just maybe, they won't be able to sort of deliver on the promise that they have had in the qualifying campaign to the Euros, because the first half ended 0-0. It was a goalless first half. Turkey could not make a single shot on target. And at the end of the match, they made only 3 shots, and none of them were on target. Donnarumma practically had nothing to do throughout the game. But on the other hand, they somehow stopped Italy from scoring throughout that first half. That was not to be, of course, in the second half. Italians, the problems for those who have followed the Italian teams historically would also know that there have been some great teams, of course, but they have also been kind of prone to breaking down mentally when they are not able to sort of get the result that they want, especially in the first 45 minutes of the game. But well, this time around, it did not look like that at all. They came back firing in the second half, and straight away in the 53rd minute itself, Mary Demiral scored an own goal that gave Italy the lead, and then they had the wind in their sails, so to speak. Ciro Immobile, the perfect poacher, scored a poacher's goal straight away in the 66th minute as well, and then Lorenzo Insigne scored a typical Insigne goal, curling in the 79th minute. Domenico Berardi was probably the best player on the pitch yesterday. With he's the one who sort of forced the own goal in the 53rd minute that got Italy underway. This was Italy made a total of 24 attempts on goal, and 8 of them were actually on target. Now that opposed to Turkey's none on target, well, that just shows the kind of match it was. Towards the end, after that third goal went in, Italy decided to do what they are sort of best known for doing. They sat back, they defended. There was this wonderful moment towards the end when the 36-year-old Giorgio Chiellini, after so many years of playing for Italy, he managed to make a crucial sort of a clearance, and then he screamed his heart out. I've always said that a centre back screaming after celebrating after a fantastic clearance is always better to see than a goal scorer, a striker, sort of celebrating after scoring a goal. Where do Italy go from here? Well, only time will tell. But it looks like Mancini has got his setting right with this match. The team hardly made any mistakes. Today, of course, this was only the first match. This is the first match day of the Euros. Today, of course, we'll be seeing Wales taking on Switzerland at 6:30 p.m. For any Gareth Bale fans out there, this is the match to see, because we've seen sort of over the years, we've seen that regardless of how he plays for the clubs, Real Madrid or Tottenham Hotspur, it doesn't matter. He's always kept his performances high when it comes to Wales, and of course that famous banner, Wales, Golf, Madrid, in that order, of course. Then after that, at 9:30 p.m. IST, Denmark face Finland. That's another match for you guys to look forward to. Right, just sticking to Italy then. They were dominating position for much of the match. There was practically nothing that Turkey could do. Turkey is not, that's what I said yesterday also during the live session, that Turkey may be a sort of a small team. They've not managed to beat Italy at all in any major tournaments over the years. But they're not a team. They're not a team of small players. They've got big major players in their team. None of them really click together. Their coach, in fact, after the match, actually apologized to the fans for that performance. There were a lot of fouls committed, mostly from Turkey's end, and towards the end, basically it became a sort of an exercise with Turkey trying to limit the damage more than anything else, and Italy just comfortably passing the ball around, breezing the ball around the Turkish players. Right, so that's that from me. First of all, a big win for Djokovic, a kind of a seismic result in tennis, and then something that you would have expected from Italy in the Euros, I guess. What were your thoughts on the matches yesterday? Please do share it in your comments, and thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe to Sports Studio.